Kia ora everyone, I hope you're well. So for a little while now I've been thinking about starting a new series on this channel, and recently I decided on the name Maddy's Moodys because there's a lot of stuff that really frustrates me, really irks me, really grinds my gears, and in today's video we are going to talk about Bluey, but more specifically the fact that I really wanted a Bluey Garden Gnome, a Hecuba, a Gerald. Unfortunately, I was not able to acquire one because they sold out super quick. And there's a lot of things that I want to vent about, a lot of things that I want to discuss, so let's begin. Now, if you've clicked on this video, I'm assuming you know all about Bluey, but for those who are unfamiliar, Bluey is an Australian children's show about 4 cartoon dogs, Bandit, Chili, Bluey, and Bingo. Even though this show is made for kids, it really resonated with a lot of adults, myself included, because it's just so fun and clever and wholesome. Additionally, it deals with a lot of heavy topics that honestly made me tear up. Some of these episodes, my goodness, you have things like infertility, loss, feelings of inadequacy. Listen, I could go on and on and on, but I'm just going to leave things there because what I really want to talk about is the merch side of things. Because realistically, with every successful show, there is merch because capitalism. And okay, I would have to say, right, in my opinion, a lot of the Bluey merch is not great. If I look at the toys, and I know you might be saying, it's not for you, Maddy, it's not for you, but the show, right, the characters, they are so dynamic and interesting. However, when you look at the figurines, they're just so dull and lifeless. There are some exceptions. I would say all of the Bluey books, great. I even bought one for my niece, and I also have an ASMR video on my channel, so feel free to check that out if you would like. One of my favourite things, and I don't even know if I'd be able to get my hands on it, but there was this Bluey Zoetrope vinyl record. A very niche thing, I know, but I just thought it was such a fantastic idea. No notes. And speaking of fantastic ideas, so there's this episode of Bluey where they go to Hammer Barn, which is very clearly a nod to Bunnings. And if you're not aware, Bunnings is, I guess, sort of a hardware store both in Australia and New Zealand. So they go to Hammer Barn, right? And there are these garden gnomes, which Bluey and Bingo affectionately name Hecuba and Gerald. And so each of them have a gnome husband. I was beyond excited when I saw that Bunnings and Bluey were going to do a collab. Perfect fit. Unfortunately, you had to be really, really quick. Because here's the thing. On February 2nd, that was when I guess this promotion was launched, I was at a Waitangi Day event, which was excellent, wonderful. I have no regrets. But it did mean that I ended up missing out, which is, I don't know, it's kind of curious because there is a Bunnings right next to the Werribee train station. I went there super early in the morning. There were no gnomes to be found. And this was like, pretty early in the morning, but apparently all the gnomes had sold out before 12. I must admit, I was very disappointed. But here's the thing, right? If I knew that all of these gnomes were going to good homes, that they were going to be appreciated by whoever bought them, most likely parents for their young kids who are obsessed with Bluey, that would be fine. Truly, I would accept that. But the thing that I thought would happen ended up happening. So anytime there is, massive hype for something like this, there's always these people, right, who they will go and buy up a bunch of stock and then they will just sell it for a super ridiculous price on eBay. There's this one YouTuber who makes a lot of Bluey content, and something popped up on my Instagram the other day where it said the most sought after Australian husbands, and one of them being the Hecuba gnome, which is so true. And then that photo was followed by another one. It was a screenshot of eBay where someone was selling the set of Bluey Gnomes for, I don't know, I think it was like $400 to $500. A message to all the people that do this. I just want you to know you are not an entrepreneur, you are a menace. Now you might say, seriously, what's the big deal? They're just novelty gnomes. You're an adult. Grow up. The thing is though, it's not just about the gnomes, okay? I see this type of thing all the time. Concert tickets, a great example. Or when I go onto Trade Me, which is sort of the New Zealand eBay equivalent, and I want to get some vintage toys. It's often impossible. The prices are ridiculous. And this whole debacle, this whole kerfuffle, it reminded me of this post my cousin sent me of this seller who had listed a first generation My Little Pony for like $10,000, and people were rightfully making fun of them because it's silly. Don't do it. If you would like to know more about this My Little Pony drama, I'll link it in the description because it's very entertaining. Highly recommend. Anyways, couple more things that I want to talk about. It's kind of pathetic because I'm very jealous of my niece and nephew. Both of them got a Bluey gnome. I did not. I'm so sad to be gnomeless. It sucks. And the other day, I just had a bad day. I wasn't in the best mood, and I looked on the Bunnings website. Apparently they had some stock, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wander down. I'm going to see if I'm going to try my luck, you know? And in my heart of hearts, I knew that they were going to be gone. There were going to be none left. Because I have a background in retail, right? And I know that so often, even though stock will be showing as available on the system, there can be so many things that contribute to things kind of not really matching up between what you've got on the system and what you've got in store. But regardless, I was like, I'm gonna go. And so I was wandering around Bunnings, and then eventually I went to ask one of the people that works there, and he had explained, yeah, they sold out super quick. Apparently they're going to be restocking. And this kind of brings me to the next thing that I want to discuss. I feel so bad for the Bunnings employees because I imagine it must have been quite stressful and overwhelming when this promotion launched, because like I'm sad and, you know, I'm a bit frustrated that I didn't get a Bluey gnome, but can you imagine all the gnomes had sold out? There probably would have been a lot of parents and other people who came in and were like, I want to get a gnome. And then people would have been like, or the staff I should say, would have said, really sorry, they sold out. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Bunnings team had to deal with some very disgruntled customers. So I'm sorry, team, if you had to go through that. Going back to a point that I made earlier, this is also what really annoys me about people who buy the gnomes or whatever else it might be for the sole purpose of reselling it at a ridiculously high price. Here's the thing, I'm disappointed that I didn't get one, but I'm an adult, I'll get over it. It makes me so sad to think that there are all these kids, you know, these massive Bluey fans that are going to miss out because someone just wants to make a quick buck. The last thing I want to say is, I really hate that I have the collector gene. It's very detrimental to my bank account. Yeah. So, you know, maybe this could be a good opportunity for self-control. Maybe it's a sign, but I know that's not how I am. I think apparently there's going to be a restock, and if I have to get to Bunnings super early, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, that is enough venting for the day. As I say, there are a lot of topics that I want to cover, so I'm sure I will be back with another video soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!